Coming up on Sports Path, we've got girls basketball. Marissa Gustafson with that three. Drano.
Then we have some boys basketball, this time with Noah Whalen for Tartan with the three. Drano. Great shooting there.
And finally, we get tangled up in some wrestling highlights. We'll have all that and more as we take you down the Sports Path.
To get those shoulders pinned.
Ground ball finds the hole up the middle.
Steps up, goes deep left side. Receiver open, counting. Touchdown, Titans! Takes a nice shot outside the goal box, and he will break the 0-0 tie. Fantastic shot by Kenloff Solon.
Giller makes a move, a good one, opportunity here, the Bears score! The Bears strike first. He's at the 40, he's down to the 30, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Jalen Bryan. Why not? What a beautiful run. Maureen there, fights her off the puck, opportunity here, another sit, and a goal! Second chance effort for the Pioneers. Put the icing on the cake, if you will, Mike. Let it go down and got to the outside and said good evening and good night.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome to Sports Path. John Miller and Sam Erickson here to bring you all your Fab 5 action. What's up, John?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Sam. Tonight we got a great show for you. We've got a lot of highlights, including wrestling, basketball, and we'll talk a little hockey as well. But before we get into all that, we'll start things off with the social media montage.
Yeah, and for our viewers that don't know, the social media montage is a segment where we take a look at what some of your Fab 5 schools and athletes have been sharing on social media. So let's get into it.
Yeah, first off, February 1st was a huge day in high school athletics. It was National Signing Day, where many of your Fab 5 athletes joined other athletes from around the United States in signing their national letters of intent to play sports at their college level. Head on over to our Twitter feed. We don't have time to point all of them out right now, but we retweeted lots of tweets about your Fab 5 athletes committing to different colleges, so go over there and check it out.
And our first tweet for the montage that we thought we should share with you tonight comes from North Activity's Twitter account run by Jed Helwig. He's the athletic director over at North. He tweets, Tyson Sonic with a diving school record tonight versus Tartan with a score of 201. Go Polars. So congrats to Tyson in setting a new school record that is likely to stand for years to come.
Yeah, our next tweet comes from one of our favorite athletes on social media, Shane Frost. On February 6th, Shane Frost committed to Briar Cliff University to play basketball. Briar Cliff is a college down in Sioux City, Iowa. Their men's basketball team is currently 20-6 on the season, so Shane Frost should fit right in on that winning team with his great shooting.
No doubt. Next, we have a tweet from Tartan girls basketball in last night's 56-19 win over South St. Paul. Senior Zaria Whitlock scored her 1,000th point. This is a huge accomplishment for Zaria, and we wish her luck in her future at Southern Illinois University as a Cougar playing Division I basketball.
Yeah, finally we bring you another Fab 5 athlete who reached the 1,000-point club last night. Parker Fox of Mahtomedi boys basketball, once again one of our favorite, scored his 1,000th point. You can see here the whole team holding up sides in the locker room after the game. Congrats to Parker Fox. Well, that'll do it for our social media montage this episode. We're really liking that segment, and I know we are here, Sam. So keep those tweets and posts coming. Remember to tweet at SamTV19 and at JohnTV19. With the montage out of the way, we'll go ahead and start with our highlights. We'll start off with wrestling, and Sam will take it away.
You got that right, John. We are going to start with wrestling. This is when North hosted Mahtomedi in a Metro East duel back on the 26th. We're going to start off with Hunter Wilsey of Mahtomedi reversing a point score there. You saw Romaine from North up 15-3. Wilsey reverses it, gets the pin, and got Mahtomedi on the scoreboard with a 6-0 lead. Now Fitzpatrick for Mahtomedi in the 113 weight class. He gets a pin as well. That'll make it a 12-0 team score for the Zephyrs. Now Fitzpatrick's brother Bryce Fitzpatrick in at the 120 level. He'll continue the pin trend for the Zephyrs with black eye and all, getting another pin, making it 18-0. Now Lawrence going against North in the 126 weight class. He gets the pin, so 4 straight pins to start it off for the Zephyrs. Good start, 24-0, the team score. North would get themselves on the team scoreboard, however, as Noah Hurley, one of the better wrestlers for the Polars at 132, sees out the victory with a close win. 2-1 was the final score of that one. But Kajawa would get back to the pinning ways for Mahtomedi, getting one there to make it 30-3. At 30-3, grandstand for Mahtomedi in the 145 weight class makes some moves, and he'll eventually get the technical fall as the individual score goes above 15 points. At a forfeit there for North, as they didn't have any wrestlers for the 152 weight class. That's something you will see kind of often in high school wrestling, as not all weight classes are able to be filled by either school. So we'll see another forfeit a little bit later on in this one. Team score now 47-3. Sereno for North now at the 170 weight class, doing some work. This is a good battle as he took on Hall from Mahtomedi. Sereno eventually got the pinfall. That was the only pin for the Polars on the evening, getting 6 points to make the team score 47-9. Moving on to the 182 weight class. Nelson for Mahtomedi. He's got the 13-point lead. Eventually, he's going to get some 2 more points to get to that 15-point mark. You see it there. The 15-point mark makes it a technical fall, and that will be 5 team points headed the Zephyrs' way. Here's the other forfeit I was talking about. This time, North gets credited with the forfeit points and gets 15. And then some of you Zephyr sports fans are familiar with this fella, TJ Tumbleson, getting another pin for Mahtomedi, getting that team score up to 58. But North would finish out the night scoring as Corey Gunther gets a near fall on Tommy Firminger. And eventually Gunther would get the technical fall, get 5 points to the Polars. They would end up with 15. Final score would be 58-15. Zephyrs are having a great year so far, sitting at 17-9 right now on the season. North is at 10-11. Mott had 7 pinfalls through the match against North. And North having a tough year, having to rebuild after losing Louis Varlin, one of the individual studs for the North squad. But as you saw there, North with a couple individuals doing some things as well. Unfortunately, weren't able to get the team victory.
Yeah, that TJ Tumbleson's an absolute truck.
Yeah.
Well, that's that for wrestling. We'll be at Mahtomedi's match against St. Thomas Academy tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that one when it airs on TV 19. We'll take a quick break and start talking basketball and hockey next. Don't go anywhere.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook, because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to the Sports Path Studio. Sam Erickson, John Miller, glad to be back with you here on Sports Path. The winter season has been kind to our Fab Five schools as our teams have found a lot of success on the ice and the basketball court this year. We've also been there with TV19 to catch some of the action, and we're going to start off our basketball highlights tonight with girls hoops.
Yeah, let's take it to girls basketball. Tartan versus North. We'll take this one at Tartan High School in Oakdale. Tartan gets things started off right off the tip-off. Ball gets to Zaria Chevrolet down low in the mere seconds to put the points on the board, 2-0 for Tartan. Only 5 seconds into the game. Took them a while to get their second basket, though. It comes off an inbound play. Chevrolet again puts the Titans to 4-0 with about 3 minutes into the first half. A couple minutes later, North Poorly estimates the height of Zaria Whitlock. Whitlock intercepts an inbound pass and takes it to the distance to put the Titans up 14-0. North still not on the board. This time, Gabby Hicks hits a three-pointer to make it 17-0. North just can't protect the ball. Tartans come away with another steal for another 2 points. This is just like the first half of the Super Bowl, 24-0. Eventually here after we would get another three-pointer from Gabby Hicks. North once again inbounds it. Tartan is there for the steal. Now 24-0 as I was talking about earlier. Get this, guys. Tartan continues to run. They hit another three right here. The bank is open. Definitely was a weekday, 31-0 now. Gabby Hicks this time once again steals the ball. She'll eventually throw it down low to McKinney. McKinney is right there for an easy bucket. Now we'll take you to North's first points of the game after being down 33-0. About 10 minutes and 44 seconds in. An inbound play leads to a long shot for North. Rebound goes to number 15, Lily Pfefferly, who puts it back up. North gets their first points. Congratulations to them. As you can guess it, Tartan goes on to win this one. Final score, 74-40. Tartan dominates this one. We would end up getting, we would talk to Zaria Chevrolet after this game. She was absolutely dominant in the low post. Remember, she is only a freshman. Her and Zaria Whitlock definitely have a nice bond and a nice combination down low.
North St. Paul is going to fall to 1-6 in the Metro East.
Man, it's actually really scary. Like before the game, I got to listen to my music. I got to stay focused. But Zaria, the other Zaria, she really gets me going. You know, she really. I don't know how to explain it, but our connection, even though she's a senior and she's going to be gone next year, what she's taught me throughout my 3 years being here is something I'm going to carry with me like throughout my whole entire life. You know, at first going in as a seventh grader, I was actually really scared of her, but like getting to know her and her just being a natural leader and just guiding me throughout everything, school, life, basketball, it's just something, I don't know, we had connection. So it was just right away for me, you know. It's just right now we're young, but as we develop and as we get older, it's going to be something nice, something deadly.
All right, well, there you have it. Tartan getting the win over North there. We have another Fab 5 matchup here, Metro East, as our next highlight coming up. There it is, Mahtomedi. This is when the Zephyrs hosted Henry Sibley back on the 31st. We're going to get started with Marissa Gustafson from Beyond the Arc. For the Zephyrs, she's kind of one of the other stars of this team. Believe she's headed off to Gustavus. Gotta like that, Gustavus and going to Gustavus, can't even say it. There's Emma Grouthouse getting in on the action. She's kind of the main star of the Zephyr squad, leading the way. There she is again, getting her own rebound with the putback, making it 9-2. Now with the score 9-5, Gustafson's gonna get in on the action again. She likes that spot on the far side of the court, knocks it down. That makes it 12-5. Fast forwarding to start off the second half, Gustafson with it again. That's her third. Makes it 33-19. And then Gustafson gets space again. Can't believe they're not closing her out. Another three-pointer. That is number 4 for Marissa Gustafson. So it looks like the Gusties of Gustavus are getting a good Gustafson next year. Grouthouse makes it look easy, getting in on the low block for the lay-in. Then in the paint again, takes a bump. Knocks down the shot, and she'll head to the free throw line. That made it 48-25. Finished out 68-45. Mahtomedi improved to 7-0 in conference with that win. We caught up with Emma Grouthouse after the game. Grouthouse is playing Division I basketball next year at Lehigh University. So let's see what she had to say.
You know, Grouthouse led the way.
One of our strategies was to get their best player, number 20, in foul trouble in the first half, and we were successful doing that because she had 3 fouls, and so she had to sit most of the first half, which really helped us, and also to push the ball against them because they like to sit in a 2-3 zone, so to play fast. Definitely Marissa Gustafson hitting her threes. I don't think she missed many tonight, and when I passed it to her, she made it, which was awesome. Our expectation is to win our conference and be undefeated, and so far we are successful in that. Right now we're 17-2, and win sections and go to state, so yeah.
All right, Sam, that was a great call with the Gusties, Gustafson, and Gustavus. But now we'll take you to another North girls basketball game, this time against Henry Sibley, courtesy of Town Square Television. The girls got started with an early layup, or Henry Sibley did, with Allie Tetzloff. She drives the hoop and makes it 4-0. North St. Paul gets on the board sooner rather than later against Tartan. Schuweiler puts one up from 3. Drano, that makes it 4-3. Henry Sibley answers with a high arcing 3 from Angel Wood. Just complete arc shot right there. That'll make it 9-3. Now Alexis Pratt shows her skill by driving to the hoop. She doesn't have the height of the other players, but she really is turning out to lead this team in the next couple of years. 9-5 now. A few minutes later, Allie Tetzloff makes a shot she made nearly 500 times before. She gets her 1,000th point, only the third Henry Sibley player to do so. Congrats, Allie, down at Henry Sibley. Nearing the end of the first half now. Henry Sibley has taken the game away, but Alexis Pratt gets the 3 after some poor shooting down low. Leaves her wide open, 38-13 at that point in the first half. And Pratt did have 15 of North's 19 points, definitely leading the team. She nets another 3 to get things started in the second half. It's now 45-22. And again, a bit later, Pratt is on fire from beyond the 3-point line. 51-29 now. North far from leading, but gaining some momentum. Abby Schuweiler now gets in on the 3-point action. Henry Sibley defense breaks down, and Schuweiler makes it 61-34. And now just 3 minutes left. Alexis Pratt scores North's final 2 points with 2 free throws to make the final score 67-40. Alexis Pratt led the team. Remember, she's only an 8th grader. She had 25 points. Abigail Schuweiler added 10 of her own. Only 4 Polars scored the whole game. 35 of those North points, 40 came from those two. Schuweiler is a senior, so she'll be gone next year, leaving Alexis Pratt to really lead this team for the next 4 years. So they definitely have some potential there, Sam.
Yeah, for sure. So there you have it, a few of your Metro East teams in action with those highlights. So now we'll take a look at the standings. And Mahtomedi team is currently in first place with an 8-1 record behind the great play of Emma Grouthouse, who you just saw, averaging 20 points a game. In third, you got Tartan there at 6-3 in conference. They've been a fun team to watch. Behind the great play of both Zaria Chevre, who's averaging 12 points, and Zaria Whitlock, who's averaging 9. Those two are dominant with the ball in their hands. Tartan and Mahtomedi play this Friday at Mahtomedi, and that one is definitely going to be a much-watched game between those two teams.
Yeah, now we'll take you to the Suburban East standings. The White Bear Lake girls are totally opposite of the boys team. They're currently sitting at 8-3 in conference, 13-7 overall. This team does it from Jordan Farron, who is just a junior, to the freshman Ella Janicki. So it's a very unselfish team. They spread the ball around. So that'll do it for girls basketball in the Suburban East and Metro East Conference. Don't go anywhere, because TV 19 is coming up next with boys basketball.
You got that right. We're going to switch into our boys before we take a break, John. And we'll start with our highlights of when Tartan hosted North a few weeks back. We're going to get it started. Jordan Horn, one of the studs for Tartan, getting it started from way beyond the arc with a huge 3. Tartan gets on the board again with another 3 to make it 6-2. In fact, their first 3 buckets are going to be from 3-point range, as they have a 9-3 lead. And check that, it wasn't their first 3 buckets, it was their first 4, as Noah Whalen hits another 3-pointer to make it 12-3. He's pumped up. Tartan fans were pumped up. We were there. It was going crazy in the gym. North had to take a timeout right there. North come back a little bit after the timeout. Good News loses the ball as he was going up for a big dunk. Then Bryce Phillips loses the ball going up for a layup. Somehow finds Lonnie Thomas under the basket to make it 14-9. Tartan would take a timeout after that play. Now with it 14-9, Good News Capello with a long 3-pointer of his own. He knocks that down. It's 14-12.
Which is nice.
Bryce Phillips nearly loses the ball, dribbles past another defender, then lets it go from the free throw line, hits off the bank. It was still Friday, albeit late, but I think it might still have been open as that one went. Looking like Steph Curry on that play. Kingston Miles answers with a 3-pointer as Tartan's hot shooting from outside continues. Then it's Jordan Thompson again, looking like his one from earlier to make it 24-17. Good News doing his best to keep North in it. Hits the 3, takes contact, wonder where the foul is. Made it 24-20, but it's 31-22. Jordan Horn gets the steal here to make it 33-22. Tartan with the 11-point advantage. North made it 9, as you see right there at 33-24. Antoine Kimmons gets the steal and the breakaway land. And that lead was back up to 11. Got to 14 here, and to close out the half, Tartan gets a big steal. Got the tip in off the missed lay-in. And as the clock runs out in the first half, it's 42-26 Tartan. They would just open it up further in the second half, and they would win this one 87-61. That would give the Polars their first Metro East loss of the season. We caught up with Jordan Horn and Noah Whaley after.
My team came in with confidence. We came in with confidence. I'll never want to say it's going to be a close game or we're going to lose or we're going to blow them out. We just come, we play hard, we play tough, and that's how we play at Tartan, and that just happened to be the outcome of the game. Yeah, definitely. Whenever we play against a good team in our conference, our section, non-conference, whatever it is, we're always going at their neck. They're always coming for us. So it's always fun and a great atmosphere in our district coming together like this, so it's always fun. Oh yeah, definitely. I always feel like us being from Tartan, we always have X in our back. I always feel like we're the top dog in our conference and everybody's coming for us, so we got to bring our A game no matter who we're playing. I can see us winning the state championship. If we play correctly, we play together, and we play smart and we play as a team, there's no doubt we won't be short of a state championship.
It was a lot of fun. My teammates were finding me on the fast break and everything, and then we got in our groove and we were up by a lot to start the game. We came out hot, so it was really good team basketball, and we really moved a lot. So yeah, I'd say we're pretty good at threes. You know, Jay Horn's going D1, and then we got other guys, me and JT. We're shooters, and then Kingston shoots too, and so, I mean, even our big guys can stretch out the floor, so I'd say we're a pretty good three-point shooting team. I mean, it's what you ask for. I mean, you say a little prayer that it goes in, but it's just like shoot around there if nobody's in your face, and with all these fans here, it's just a lot of fun because then they just go crazy for you.
All right, Sam, I really thought we were going to commercial, but let's get straight to the point here. North St. Paul is on quite a downslide, but it currently sitting in third in the conference with an 8-2 record and are behind Tartan and Mahtomedi. Unfortunately, North, their 2 losses were against both of those teams. It'll be a tough to make up ground, although they do play both of those teams later on in the year. Tartan is currently sitting at 9-1 in conference, right behind Mahtomedi. Mahtomedi is currently 10-0 on one of the longest win streaks with 8 wins in a row. The best part in all of this, Sam, Tartan and Mahtomedi play each other this Friday night, and we will be there to cover it. The winner of this game will likely decide who wins the conference. It could be even a tie, or Mahtomedi beat Tartan earlier in the year. However, Tartan did not have their star player, Jordan Horn, in that game. This is a game you won't want to miss, and me and Sam will be there on the call.
All right, now switching over to the Suburban East, where you see White Bear Lake there at 1-6, 2-13 overall. Hasn't been a great year for the Bears, but a bit of a rebuilding year as they are young. They're led by a few players. Sam Schwartz, a senior, he's going to be taken off, but Blake Charles is a junior, so they'll look good coming up next year, so they'll hopefully be a little bit more relevant. And I think that'll do it for basketball. Now we're going to take that commercial break. Hopefully I won't talk over any more interviews. We'll have hockey when we get back.
My name is Carly. I'm 15 years old and I am a heart recipient. I got my first heart transplant when I was 1.5 years old. I got my second heart when I was 13. When I get my driver's license, of course I'm gonna say yes to be an organ donor. I've been saved twice, so who says I can't save somebody else?
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
You're going to need me. You're going to need all of us. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
Well, welcome back, TV19 sports fans. Well, we've talked wrestling. We also touched on some hoops, so it's only natural we now focus on hockey. The girls' regular season wrapped up last week, so we'll take a look at how things finished up in the conference standings.
Yeah, and we'll start with the Metro East, and not surprised you see Hill-Murray at the top of the conference, winning it this year and going undefeated again. Mahtomedi may have finished under 500 overall, but the Zephyrs have helped themselves out for the postseason, finishing above 500 in conference and in third place. You see North Tartan there wasn't quite able to make it to 500 in conference in their second year, finishing 2 points behind the Zephyrs. but North Tartan did split the season series with Mahtomedi, so looking good for next year.
Yeah, now let's take a look at the Suburban East Conference, where White Bear Lake finished in the top half of a very good conference, collecting 10 wins. Although the Bears ended in fourth, they did pull off wins against both Forest Lake and Cretin-Durham Hall. Sydney Sheeran, finished the regular season with 24 goals and 18 assists for a very impressive team, leading 42 points. Goalie Calla Frank led the Suburban East in save percentage as well with .947 average. Now we'll take it away to the girls' hockey bracket.
That's right. We mentioned regular season is out of the way, all finished. So we'll take a look at the section brackets that just got released. First, starting with 4-2A. No surprise to see Hill Murray at the very top with the 1 seed. Then we have a Fab 5 matchup with White Bear hosting North Tartan. Now, White Bear hasn't played North Tartan or Hill Murray this year, but they did pick up a couple wins against teams that finished above them in conference, so White Bear might be a threat in that section.
Yeah, in Section 4A, we see Mahtomedi got the 3 seed and faces Minnehaha United to start section play. The Zephyrs did not face Minnehaha in the regular season, but they did face both the 1 seed St. Paul United and 2 seed South St. Paul this year. The Zephyrs lost a close one to United and tied South St. Paul 2-2. It's the postseason, so it's anybody's guess, but I'd say that Mott has a decent chance to be in the running for section champ, Sam.
Oh, you better believe it. Go Zephyrs. So exciting times for girls hockey as the postseason is already upon us, but the boys still have a few games to go before their season's end. So let's take a look how things are shaping up in their standings.
Yeah, let's take a look at the boys Metro East standings. Looks like Hill Murray will likely be conference champs again this year, but a couple of our Fab 5 schools might have a chance to finish second, although it looks unlikely that Tartan or Mahtomedi will leapfrog St. Thomas for second. Fab 5ers Sam Lindahl of Tartan, Luke Posner of Mahtomedi, and Corey Pilarski of North are numbers 1, 2, and 3 in conference goal scoring, and Lindahl leads the conference in overall points with 45. Corey Pilarski is right on his tail with 44, and behind Pilarski, that's right, Posner with 39.
So that's it for Metro East. Now in the Suburban East, we have White Bear, who's currently in third place with an 8-3-1 record. The Bears handed Stillwater their only conference loss so far. May have helped play spoiler in their efforts to win the conference again this year. Max Jenrick now leads the league with 19 goals. White Bear hosts Woodbury tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's it for hockey, Sam. All the Fab 5 schools seem to be doing pretty well overall, and I can't wait until the Section 4A boys tournament. We'll most likely be out there, so check it out for some of the biggest games of the biggest section hockey tournaments in the state. Since we have had interviews with some phenomenal Fab 5 athletes the last few weeks, we haven't had time to do Athletes of the Week, but it's back, so let's get right into it. For Female Athlete of the Week, we have Zaria Whitlock, the Tartan senior forward, who had 11 points last night in a 56-19 win over South St. Paul. Most importantly, however, is that she scored her 1,000th point that we covered earlier. For our Male Athlete of the Week, I have to go with senior forward Tartan Jordan Horn. Horn had 19 points last night and a 108-33 blowout win against South St. Paul as well. Horn also had a great game against conference foe North St. Paul on the 27th. The D1 Sienna commit makes the game look too easy. He also scored his 1,000th point earlier this year as well. Congratulations to you two, not only from me, but from all of us here at TV19. And good luck to you in the rest of the year as we head into the stretch run of the season. I know we don't really cover Tartan basketball that much, but you know, we normally cover Mahtomedi, so we had to give a big shout out to those two players.
Yeah, we definitely been seeing a lot of 1,000-point performances lately. We saw that girl from Roseville in the game we did. We just saw highlights there from the Henry Sibley, Jordan Horn getting 1,000 points, Whitlock 1,000 points, Parker Fox 1,000 points. So I know, John, you and me have just been surrounded by these 1,000-point performances.
Yeah, we were definitely on hand for all of them. And Jordan Horn, we were there when he got his award. He's a heck of a player, and it's going to be super exciting to watch Mahtomedi versus Tartan on Friday. But this time, it's a healthy Jordan Horn. So Mahtomedi, you better buck up.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Tartan, cracked the top 10 there in the Class 4A. Of course, Mahtomedi in the top 5 of Class 3A. That will have big implications for the Metro East Conference crown. I think Tartan and North had to split it last year. Might have that same scenario this year if both Mahtomedi and Tartan end up with one loss in conference. Well, that should just about do it for us. We'll have some upcoming broadcasts for you as section playoffs get underway, and our next episode of Sports Path will include a lot of that information as well. We'll catch you next time.
I mean, it's better kind of riding the wrestler, not allowing the escape, not allowing reversals or takedowns.
Yeah, so he got a cool with a double arm bar. He graduated one of the best that we've had in a long time, Louis Barland. He had over 100 wins, which was a career wins, which was a record.
Definitely shows, and they make it known, which is nice. Bryce Phillips stumbles, somehow keeps his handles. That kid can do something else.
No
as he
way.
banks it off the board. Shades his
Horn now from way out, and that is good. Whalen's going to throw it up again. That was good.
Bring up to the front court. 4-3 again. Money on that shot. Bring it to the far side. Inside for Grothaus. Up and a foul. Money from Grothaus. She adds to her 20 points. Now has 22. She'll be back at the line once again for a 3-point play.